You've read the book. You've seen the movies. A group of schoolboys, shipwrecked on a deserted island, descend into savage, bloodthirsty monsters. It's a terrifying story about the darkness that lurks inside human nature. But what if I told you that story is a lie? What if I told you that when 6 real-life schoolboys were shipwrecked on a deserted island for over a year, they didn't turn on each other. They didn't hunt each other. They didn't descend into madness. What they actually did is so much more shocking than the fiction. This is a true story that history almost forgot. The story that proves everything you thought you knew about survival is wrong. It started in 1965. 6 boys, bored with their strict Catholic boarding school in Tonga, decided to run away. Their plan was simple: steal a small fishing boat and sail to Fiji, hundreds of miles away. They packed a few bananas, some coconuts, and a small gas burner. They had no map, no compass, and no idea what they were doing. That very first night, a storm hit, a monstrous tempest that snapped their mast and shattered their rudder. For 8 terrifying days, they were lost at sea, drifting at the mercy of the ocean. Their food was gone. Their water was gone. They were dying. Then, on the 8th day, they saw it. A remote, rocky island looming on the horizon. The island of Ada. It was uninhabited, a place long abandoned by humans. They had survived the sea, but now they were stranded in a place that no one ever looked for. This is the moment in the fictional story where the boys turn on each other. But the Tongan boys did something different. Their leader, a boy named Zone, gathered them together. They were weak and terrified, but they made a promise. They would survive, and they would survive together. They made 2 unbreakable rules. Rule 1, never, ever quarrel. They devised a system to solve arguments. If 2 boys were angry, they would separate for a few hours to cool off, then come back together and apologize. Rule 2, work in teams of 2. They created a roster for garden duty, kitchen duty, and guard duty. There was no Piggy to bully. There was no Jack to lead a hunt. There was only teamwork. For 15 months, these 6 boys didn't just survive. They built a society. They lived on wild birds, fish, and taro they found growing in volcanic craters. They hollowed out a tree trunk to store rainwater. They built a makeshift gym with rock weights and a badminton court to keep their spirits up. Every single day began and ended with song and prayer. And for 15 months, they kept the signal fire burning. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 2 of them were on fire duty, ensuring the smoke never stopped rising. It was a testament to their unbreakable hope. But here's the most incredible part. One of the boys, Stephen, slipped one day and fell off a cliff, shattering his leg. In Lord of the Flies, a weak boy is a target. But here, the other 5 boys worked together to rescue him. They carefully set his broken bone, using sticks and leaves. They nursed him back to health, giving him their food rations until he could walk again. They didn't see weakness. They saw a friend who needed help. After more than a year, an Australian fisherman named Peter Warner sailed into the bay. He saw a plume of smoke from an island he knew was uninhabited. Then he saw them. 6 long-haired, naked boys diving off the cliffs into the sea. He thought they were a hallucination. He shouted to them, and they swam to his boat. They told him their story. Peter was so stunned he radioed Tonga to confirm. The operator broke down in tears. The whole island had presumed the boys were dead. Funerals had been held. Their rescue wasn't just a miracle. It was a revelation. The fiction tells us that without society, we become monsters. But the true story of the Ada boys shows something else. That maybe, just maybe, our deepest instinct isn't savagery. It's friendship, it's hope, and it's cooperation. The real Lord of the Flies wasn't a monster at all. It was a hero. If this true story that's stranger than fiction changed the way you see the world, hit that like button and subscribe. Because the most amazing stories are the ones that actually happened.